Ah, finally here. Jason and I were just talking off of air. That's why we might be a little late. But I was just about to tell him how legendary it was, and just how the whole vibe all day Saturday was nothing but positivity. Even, yeah, there was a couple people, cussing some people out or something like that, but it was incredible. But we're gonna go ahead and give you our thoughts about Trey Lance and some a little bit of stock up, stock down, and some thoughts about the game. But before we go do that, we'd like to remind everybody to go to twitch.tv/Niner Faithful Radio to join us for the live streams of all our shows. For the Faithful, by the Faithful pre-launch sale is happening right now, this very moment. From now until August 29th, you can save 20% off of all our designs. Go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop for more details and to check out all our designs. You can go to SeatGiant.com, use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. You can get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link that will be made in the video description of the podcast and video. It costs you no more money, and it really does help out the show. You can go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to check out all the places you can catch the show, as well as follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr, and at Niner Faithful R on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, faithful of all ages, let's start the show.
Montana steps up, throws.
All right, we're here. We're ready. We're here. We're gonna drink some beers. I don't know. Anyway, um,
What up?
what's up, Jason? How you doing? So,
Hey, man.
I don't.
Dig
I
it?
don't.
Check it.
I know. Hey, you know what? Honestly, I I've been trying to find their email so I can hit them up. Like, hey, so how could we get some of those hats on Niner Faithful Radio shop? You know what I'm saying? Like,
These hat, I think this hat was like $40. Well, no, I got mine on special, but I think they're normally like $40. Affiliate code, man. That's what we need.
yeah, there you go. Like a little promo code or something. Save
Yeah.
10%, and then we make 10% or something like that. I don't
Yep.
know.
Yeah, but this hat, like it looks better in person than it does on TV right now.
You know, without I ain't gonna lie, I've not been too happy with a lot of the Niner hats that they've came out with recently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actually, what this? Okay, so Mama Debbie bought me the Shannon hat. She bought me the Shannon hat, but the last 3 or 4 hats I've gotten have all been hats that the homies make.
Yeah.
They've all been like custom hats or not official hats. It's been actually a while since I've gone to like Lids or the team store or something and actually bought me a legit like a licensed Niner hat. So, but those look pretty raw, pretty raw.
Yeah. The only official ones I get is I get the draft hats every year.
Yeah.
And then I did get one of the ones with the 75th patch on it just because. But other than that, like you said, I get hats from other places other than, the official ones.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. See, I live in the Bay Area, so it's a lot easier. Like we've got just right here at Oak Ridge Mall, we've got 2 sports shops, one down the way from me and one down the way from me that way. And we got a Lids right across the street from Fanatics. So our fans, it's basically just a store version of the online store.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for us to find non-official Niner hats. There's like, matter of fact, there's like actually 3 sports stores within this mall, and so you could eat. And I would dare to say, I know Lids Liz is gonna pretty much Liz and Fanatics are probably mostly gonna be your official hats, but Sports
Yeah.
Fever, yeah. Matter of fact, I think that this one was bought by somebody for me at Sports Fever, and this isn't. I haven't seen this official as official one, but enough about hats. We're gonna go ahead and give our thoughts, and we're not gonna bury the lead too much. Jason, you were all off season, trade to the Bay, trade to the Bay. Um, Now that we've officially seen him in a game, what are your thoughts?
I liked everything I saw for the most part. I thought, obviously,
Yeah,
with the 80-yard touchdown, everybody loved that one. The three drop catches, I've even seen people are like, "Oh, he only went 5 of 14." I'm like, "Did you actually watch the damn game? I mean, come on." Because if you did, you would have seen him hit three people in the hands for drops. Okay,
the
that makes him
hands.
for 8 for 14. A couple of the other catches were kind of iffy, but if he gets two of those to go with that his way, he's 10 of 14. It's like, but like as far as for me, and if you notice, there was no boots, no crazy RPOs. That offense
No.
with Trey was about as vanilla as it got. So we didn't see everything. We saw him just basically as bare bones as he can get. Like this vanilla, that offense was you know plainer than vanilla. So we have
That's a
not. I mean,
Mac
you saw,
Jones offense.
yeah, which there's nothing wrong with it. Mac Jones actually played
No,
good, and when
no. Yeah.
excuse me, when he actually played okay. But yeah, like I said, like this, everybody's freaking. Well, he didn't run. Like no, he didn't. They wanted him to stay in the pocket. They're keeping those. They're keeping that hand to themselves very well right now.
In the pregame show, I said I didn't even want Trey to run. I didn't even want Trey to run. I don't need to see Trey Lance run. I don't need to see
Yeah,
RPOs. I don't need to see none of that shit. I saw plenty of it in practice and in training camp. Um, I don't need to see any of it in the freaking August 14th. I don't even
yeah,
need to see any of it August 29th. So
yeah.
I'm like, this is specifically what I wanted. And my thoughts, real quick. I know I mostly gave them yesterday on Faithful Talk, but you know, I'm encouraged. So if people would say, "Are you stock up and stock or stock down?" and I would say, if you're one of the people who believes Trey Lance will start Week 1, you're stock down because I think that you saw on Saturday why he's not ready, which is okay. I'm not knocking that. I'm not even saying that as a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm strictly just saying he is not ready. Because and what I saw in the game is exactly what I saw in practice. You saw the wow plays. You saw the 80-yard touchdown. You saw that. To me, the 80-yard touchdown wasn't even his most impressive throw to me. His most
No,
impressive
it
throw
wasn't.
was the one. The most impressive throw to me personally was the sideline one to Richie James, which
Yes, he put it
I,
perfectly
I,
where it needed to
I
be.
agree- yeah, I agree with you. If you said, hey, if he gets two out of the three drops, I counted three drops for him. So if you say fine, I'll give Richie James that one. I'll give Richie and say, okay, that is a pretty tough catch and everything like that. That fine, okay, that's the one he doesn't complete. You know what I'm saying? I tend to be like, okay, well, if you're gonna give him the drop balls, then you got to give the picks.
Yeah,
So what is he? So what is he? 7 of 14 with two picks and a touchdown. I mean, so I'm encouraged by what I. If you're, hey, Trey needs to start Week 1, you're stocked down because you saw that he's not ready Week 1. But I'm encouraged because you and I are of the belief that he doesn't need to start. Uh,
nope.
ideally, the whole year. I'm of the firm mind that it's going to at least not be until Indianapolis. You know that'd be the earliest I think that we would see him installed. But I'm encouraged because you saw the wow plays. You saw the 80-yard touchdown. You saw the throw to the sideline to Richie James. But then you saw the high throws. You saw the wide throws. But that's how it was in practice. He struggled in the 2-minute drill. That 2-minute drill did not look well. But the 2-minute drills in practice didn't look well. You know, uh, so I saw nothing. I think what you walk away with the game of thinking is when you break it down to Justin Fields versus Trey Lance, I don't think that will be argued for. I don't think that will be settled for years to come.
No.
But if you break it down to what 99.9% of the faithful wanted out there, which is what, hey, anybody but Mac Jones, I think you saw that we definitely were right in saying, hey, anybody but Mac Jones. Not saying Mac Jones didn't play well. I personally didn't see him play, can really care less. But what I saw, what you're seeing is that 80-yard throw. I mean, bro, I don't think Mac Jones even makes that throw. You
I don't
know,
know, man. Sherfield was pretty damn
so,
open. I'd
but,
hope
but,
I'd hope an NFL quarterback can hit that.
yeah, but you definitely, and you even saw him move a little bit in the pocket and avoid the
Yeah.
rush and everything like that. And but you saw Shanahan said one sack was on him, and he
Yeah.
would like to recognize the all-out blitz. But these are things that we all anticipate. These are things that nothing that I saw Saturday shocked me, positive or negative. So all of a sudden I said, "Oh, damn, that throw was I don't know what the hell he was." No, I walked away thinking, "Okay, that's how Trey Lance was played during practice." So I'm encouraged. I'm even more encouraged this week because if we've heard anything about Trey Lance, is how much he came back, how much he improved between those 40 days and everything like that. So if you have the joint practices coming up on Thursday and Friday versus the Chargers, plus the additional preseason game coming up on Sunday, I'm even more excited to see how much he improved from Saturday until Sunday. Now, I don't expect it to be leaps and bounds, and all of a sudden he's going from he's not ready to start to, oh my God, we got to get him on the field in 1 week. But I would like to see some of those things improve, and I'm encouraged.
I wouldn't
Um,
mind seeing Kyle loosen up the reins on him just a little bit. I'm not saying give him the full playbook, but let's see an actual boot. Let's see, give
yeah,
him the option, give him that opportunity to make that read. Okay, do I want to run or do I want to pass? And let's not forget, he hasn't played football in 500 and what 50 some odd
it
days.
was something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, you knew there was going to be some rust. Yes, he's been in practice, in a live practice, and this and that, but
Yeah,
this is
but
a
that's
different team. He's got to read it and this and that. So, like I said, people forgot all about that. Like, wait a minute, they're bashing a guy that didn't play. He played one game last year, and that's it. So I mean, there's got to
and
be
to me,
rust.
what was encouraged is I didn't see too many procedural issues.
No, no,
And you're talking now, mind you, it was a preseason game and it was the home crowd. So it's not like it was in Shadado, in the fourth quarter, and everything like that. But I
yeah,
didn't
where
see
it's
any
loud.
procedural issues. I didn't see any procedural issues, which to me is also very encouraging because you're considering with the man who never took a play call in his helmet before. And so to say like now there were Shanahan said there were a couple times he had to ask him to and I did see him go like this a couple times like obviously to repeat the play,
Yeah,
but I didn't see any
it's
procedural
rookie
issues.
mistake. It's rookie stuff.
No, that's fine. You're literally talking about a man who never heard a play call in his helmet,
Yeah.
and then had to get it with the play clock and things of that
Mhm.
nature. So I'm very 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 encouraged by what I saw Saturday. Um, and I'm even more encouraged to see what he brings, this Sunday. Moving on from Trey Lance, I'm gonna steal your thunder, Jason. I don't care. This is what happens when you're the host of the podcast. I'm gonna give my first stock up to Talanoa Hufanga. I think he had his one rookie moment with Tyreek Hill, which I'm not embarrassed about
Tyreek Hill
because
makes everybody look
yeah,
stupid.
that's that's a welcome to the NFL moment, but that's
Exactly.
also a welcome to the NFL. Not everybody's as fast. I mean, you're literally talking about the fastest receiver in football.
Yeah.
you,
He's
you
not
know,
going to see that every week. Thankfully, we don't.
no,
Put it this way, I've been
that
playing Madden 22. Tyreek
mhm.
is impossible to cover. They just send him
Yeah,
deep on every. It's like this is stupid. He is way
it's
over
ridiculous.
from Madden, and so it's nothing out of the ordinary for him.
But they can't give Raheem Mostert 99 speed. But
Right?
anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
even
I
though
know.
Raheem
Oh, I know.
Mostert's literally been had the
The
fastest
fastest
ball carrying
man.
time
Yeah.
the last 2 years in a row. But whatever. We're not going to get here and get that. But to me, but I'm even more encouraged because that happened because of how he recovered. I don't think he
Yeah.
made another mistake the rest of the game. Um,
I think there was one blown
we
coverage, but there wasn't a
okay.
big one. Like I think
Oh,
they
he did
got
have
mixed
that
up.
PI.
Yeah.
He did have that PI,
I think that was
against Tyreek, which was against Tyreek Hill,
was it?
which
Okay.
yeah, which fine, whatever.
Just grab him if he's going to burn you for a touchdown. Just tackle him.
Cool.
I'll
I'll
take
give
that.
up what? I'll give up 40, 30, 40, whatever yard penalty versus a TD every day.
Yeah.
You know, I'll take the penalty over a TD. Um, so definitely encouraged by what I saw with Talanoa Hufanga. Um, we knew he was going to ball out on special teams.
Yep.
I think that was pretty. Special teams is mostly mentality, and I mean I could have told you in his draft press conference he had the mentality to be. Any rookie that comes out and says, "Hey, I want to make the Pro Bowl on special teams my first year," that's a player you need on special teams.
Yeah.
But the ability to track the ball, the angles he took, and everything, it seemed like that was one game, and a lot of it was against twos and everything like that. So we'll see how he does this week in practice. And let's not be real, although Tyreek Hill is one of the best receivers in the NFL. We have the best. Our division has the best receiving core if you go by division in football, and I particularly don't even think it's close. When you look
Yeah,
at
there's
each
some
team's
damn good
division,
receivers in this division.
yeah, I mean, I don't. Please, if y'all could think something, please put it in the comment. But I can't think of a 4-team receiving core, our 4-team division that can have you match up DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, AJ Green, Hopkins, Christian Kirk,
I think
Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Cooper Cup.
AFC
Why
North
am I?
maybe. That'd be the only one I can think of that would come close.
Yeah, but I mean, all four teams
I
though.
would. No, what I'm saying is like I think they'd be.
Yeah,
I'd put it close, but I would still think the NFC West has the best receivers overall.
yeah. It just, and so it's to me. We'll see what he does, again in the division and everything like that. I'm not ready to put him as a starter yet, but I think the man's definitely earned some run with the ones this week.
Oh, for sure,
And
for
all of
sure.
a sudden, the little bit of our little bit of concern of safety depth, maybe doesn't seem as much of a concern. I'm not saying that it's not a concern, but
It's not so dire.
real quick, or you know what, we'll get in that towards the end of the game. Or well, yeah, let's do this now. The Niners have here. I had it pulled up right now. The Niners have signed a cornerback.
Devontae
I'm pulling
Harris.
it up right now. It's loading. So
Devontae
Devontae
Harris is
Harris off of waivers from the Baltimore.
yep,
Go ahead, bro.
decent. It's a good veteran pickup.
And in order to make room off the roster, the team cut quarterback Josh Rosen.
The dream is dead.
Just real quick. I know Jason and I were of the mind that hey, if we got to our third quarterback this year, then I'd rather take a flyer on Josh Rosen, who definitely had that first round pedigree. But obviously, I was wrong.
I think a lot of people were.
I
Don't worry
don't.
about
This
that.
competition, yeah, this competition wasn't even close. Honestly, it wasn't even. I think it became very quickly apparent quite quickly that Nate Suffield was going to be the third quarter if we do keep 3 quarterbacks. Um, let me see.
He must have just lost his mojo, like being between everything that's happened between Arizona, then where do you go? Then to the Dolphins, then to Tampa Bay. He's just probably got zero confidence left in himself as a player.
I have it on somebody who's heard somebody that works for the Niner organization that it's an attitude issue,
Well, yeah, he's
and
always been a
it's
dick. That's gone
yeah,
back to
yeah,
college, but
it's
he's a dick.
definitely a attitude. As much as you say Trey's coachable, from what I've heard, um, Josh Rosen's not. Josh Rosen's the polar opposite. Trey can take coaching. Josh Rosen can't.
Hmm.
I think he's caught up on the fact that I really believe, from how it's described to me, is Josh Rosen really legitimately believes that he should be the starter for any team that he walks into.
Yeah,
Which fine, okay.
I've heard that too.
I love that confidence. That's fine. Frank Gore walked up to Kevin Barlow his first day in I want to say it was minicamp or whatever. Walked up to Kevin Barlow and said, "I'm here to take your job." And so I don't mind that. I don't knock confidence. I mean, I'm a firm believer of 99.9% of NFL players, even the scrubs, even practice squad players will think they're the best athlete on the
Yeah.
field. You don't make it to the NFL with pretty much without that attitude. But when you take it into the type of attitude that you don't believe that you need to improve or whatever, and that's what ultimately that's why I think it's sad, because I think that it, regardless of wherever he goes, if he does get a shot in the NFL, I don't think it's going to work out because his attitude hasn't changed. You know, and I thought maybe he might have been humbled a little bit. You know, he might have come in
Obviously
and
not.
lost that chosen Rosen type of mantra attitude that he had, and clearly he didn't. So wash my hands of it, and I can say this with quite confidence: we're fucked if we get to our third string quarterback this year. Um, Probably was going to be that way anyway, but
You
Javon
know,
Kinlaw,
and I know the joke is that he, whoever we cut go to the Seahawks. It's probably there's a good chance he goes with the hit that Gino what's his name took this weekend. They need a
yeah.
quarterback.
Well,
It's a
hey,
it's a joke, but at this point, it's just a thing. Actually, no, he can't go to Seattle. He's a quarterback. He has to go to Kansas City.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's always the tradition. It was actually funny. We were talking about this off of air, but I've never seen such a Saturday. I've never seen such a positive type of attitude walking out with a loss. I do think I
Yeah.
mentioned this on yesterday's show, but I do think it's funny that we lost the game 19-16, and Joe played for both franchises, and he wore number 19 for Kansas City, and number 16 for us. So I
Mhm.
always thought that was a funny coincidence. But the overall attitude I got out of Saturdays, yeah, we were all fuck the Chiefs and fuck the pussy farts and all that. But it was just the overall vibe I got was everybody was just so happy to be back and have football back in our lives, and the tailgate was amazing, and it was. I mean, I ain't gonna
I was
lie.
watching some
I
of the early morning games too, and they were just the exact same thing. Like everybody in the stands was smiling. They were
Yeah,
high,
it's
like
just
fans of whoever they were playing. They were high fiving. It's like people just were happy to be out again. So it's just like this is actually kind of cool because when have we ever lost something for so long
we have it.
that we
You
exactly? It's just like, and then now we're getting it back, and now everybody is just so happy to be back. To go to games.
so talking to a lot of people at the row, you know, it's I hadn't seen the majority of these people. Now a few of the people I had seen, we did have a few watch parties last year, and
Hmm.
just out and about or whatever like that. But some of these people, who have become family to me, I ain't seen since the NFC Championship game.
Was it
And some
six
of these
hundred and
people
some odd
it was
days? Is that what it was?
574 days,
Five,
574 days.
damn.
And so, I remember just walking up. Big shout out to Alvarito Productions, with my boy Antonio. I walked up to him, fat hug, like, "What's up, bro? So good to see you."
Yeah.
Fat hug and everything like that. And Antonio and his sister are both from the city. They're from San Francisco. They're from the Mission District. And so, and he's pushing, early to mid 40s. And so he's looking at me. He's like, "Bro, I've literally been going to this. I've been going to Niner games since I was in my mother's stomach. Like I've literally been going to games over 40 years. You know, and he goes, I've never had like he never had that taken away from him. Like he never had, and this man's a season ticket holder. Been season ticket holder for years. So he's like, I've never not been able to go to the Niner game. Like,
Yeah, it's weird.
you know what I'm saying? And to have something that after 40 years of being able to go every game I wanted to, it's I don't think that it's just something that nobody can explain, because whether
Yeah.
you're Mama Debbie, who's been a fan of the team for 50 plus years, or you're the person who I went to and this was your first ever Niner game, and you've always kind of been like, oh, I'm a Niner fan just because whatever, got to pick a Bay Area team. You know what I'm saying? Whether you've been a
Yeah.
fan for over 50 years or just now became a fan or whatever you want to say, it was something nobody had ever experienced in their lives. So anyway, um, wrapping up, Javon Kinlaw is week to week. Um,
Did they say how many
Nick,
weeks are they expecting, or is it just week to week in
they just
general?
said week to week. It's just week to week in general. Okay, so this is another. Today we announced the release of Joshua Perkins, with
Hmm.
cornerback Ken Webster, and also waived slash injured Austin Watkins Jr.
I thought he went to the IR.
He has to clear waivers first.
Okay.
What's going to happen?
I
It's going to be
thought
the
I
same
thought
as
he went
Justin School.
straight to it. So
No,
okay.
they waived him injured. He's going to clear waivers and he'll resort to the IR. He'll spend the year on IR developing, and then he'll get that IR red shirt freshman year or red shirt year.
Yeah.
We'll go over the important dates later.
And then there was also Kendricks was officially signed.
Yeah, I was just going to get to that. Kendricks was officially signed, and in order to make room on the roster for him, oh, well, we just went over those. So yeah, that's fine. All right, that should be.
He's not a bad pickup.
No, I mean, I'm okay at this point. I think that, and we'll get into this probably next week as we're going into the last weeks before final cuts. Oh, yeah, we'll go ahead and go over that. So today, hold on, let me see. There was actually a couple days. So today it has to be 80. Next week is 80. Or no, this week today it had by one. So basically 3 hours ago it had to be down to 85. Next week by 4 p.m. Eastern time it has to be down to 80, and then August 31st it has to be down to 53 on the active inactive list. Simultaneously with the reduction to 53, clubs have players in categories of physically blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, I don't really understand that part. Okay, so um so we're all caught up on news. Another stock up. Jason, go ahead and give me your next stock up. My bad, or your first stock up.
Trying to think.
I got kind of lost for a second.
How about the second round of the defensive line? Those guys were holding it down pretty damn, especially Arden Key. He is coming out more and more and more. I think he rated out as the second best defensive lineman for last week. I think is what it was. Yeah, our starters were not in, none of
No,
them, and they were holding their own against Kansas City's first line.
I believe Dre Greenlaw and was the only starter. Hold on, let me look that up.
But yeah, like I said, if the number twos are holding their own against Kansas, because they didn't do a whole lot with Kansas City. Granted, Kansas City wasn't out there for a whole lot amount of time, but
No.
with the amount of pressure that they were bringing and everything else, I am completely happy.
Yeah. So I'm looking up right now. Yeah, literally, it looks like. Yeah, it literally looks like the only starter was freaking Dre Greenlaw on defense. But, I was quite impressed with that too. I was quite impressed. I agree with you with your stock up as far as overall the defense overall. Um,
Yeah, not bad.
obviously that last drive should not happen.
No,
Um,
but
I was a little pissed. I was a little bit pissed because we should have walked away with the dub. And I made my thoughts on wins in the preseason. I made my thoughts quite clear on that and how I expect the Niners to treat the preseason. I believe mission. I don't want to say mission accomplished because Sean Coleman came out of the game nicked up, and obviously we lost Austin Watkins Jr. to a broken foot. But that last drive can't happen like that. We can't give up that last little bit of lead. But I'm not gonna stress about it. I'm not gonna scream, yell, and cuss about it because a lot of those players that were playing at that point in time are going to be insurance salesmen and security guards in a couple weeks.
it's also
So
coaching points for a lot of those guys too, because
yeah,
some of those guys are going to make the roster. Some of them are probably going to play. So even with the negative, yeah, it sucks we lost. I mean, I know you put more of importance on winning preseason than I do,
yeah.
but more importantly, overall, there's going to be coaching points for everybody on that point. So,
Well,
because
yeah,
how many
and
times are you going to get in that situation, especially in the
well,
preseason?
look at the end of the day, am I mad that we lost? Yeah, I mean, I am mad. I hate to lose. I never want. But honestly, no. My attitude generally when I walked out that stadium was, fuck the Chiefs. But I mean, I was just generally happy to be back in the stadium. You know what I'm saying, and be amongst my fam. That I wasn't really tripping. Like whatever, I still had a kick-ass time. You know, it was really honestly one of the best times I've had at the tailgate. So I'm not necessarily mad. And okay, fine. I'd rather I'll never forget this. If you look back in 2019, and yeah, I know we promised not to go back to 2019, but Dre Greenlaw does not make that tackle in Seattle, the clinch by an inch, without what happened to Jimmy Ward in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drake Greenlaw talked about how that was the coaches hammered that home of tackle high, tackle high, tackle high, tackle high, right? So you fast forward to week 17, literally same scenario. And because of the lesson that had to be learned against Atlanta, Drake Greenlaw was able to make one of the biggest plays in franchise history, uh, as far as regular season franchise history. And so I fine. Okay, cool. And so would I rather that teaching lesson happen in week 1 of the preseason? Of course. I'd rather that happen than in the regular season. So um, I was definitely encouraged by the defense. I'm going to go ahead and give my last stock up. And I know that I was kind of hard out of him coming in out of training camp, but Diamador Lenore, I thought that they were clearly, I want to say it was the third quarter, I want to say, but there was probably like 2 or 3 plays in a row that they were clearly targeting him. They were going
Hmm.
after Diamador Lenore. And um, he stood the test. And yeah, a lot of those balls ended up going out of bounds. Well, A, they probably ended up going out of bounds because of his coverage. And B, if you look at the coverage, even if it was thrown, it was going to be knocked down or picked. And so to me, yet again, I'm not going to make any crazy announcements and say, oh, Diamador is the next, Deion Sanders or he needs to start or anything like that. But for somebody who's probably going to play a role this year, we would assume no corner, plays all 17 games. So Diamador Lenore is going to see the field and take some snaps on defense this year. I thought he held up well. Um, Nothing to make me think, oh my God, he shouldn't be on the field. Now, is he ready to start? No. But if he had to come in for a couple plays because, you know, E-Man needs to put on his shoe or something like that, I don't think all of a sudden we're doomed. Jason, your last stock up?
I'm going to choose the other side of your guy and go with Ambry. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
a lot of a lot of the ones that he was in on, um, and he reminds me a lot of a young Sherman. They're very handsy with stuff. He's
yeah,
pushing the boundaries of what can and can't be a flag, which is what
yeah.
he was known for in college to begin with. He was a very aggressive cornerback, but nothing was called. It's like it's only a foul if you get caught,
Of course.
and take that as you
Richard
will.
Sherman
But I
drives that
want
to the
him.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. He also kind of changed the way you can play cornerback in the league.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm in. Like I said, I thought Ambry Thomas was very aggressive and he was more
Mhm.
handsy than Lamore. He was more in your face kind of aggressive. But I like the fact that both of them were being very aggressive while
Yeah,
they were on the
yeah,
field. And like we had talked about, I think it was in our group chat. Yeah, it was in our group chat that the future, if we lost, Mosley and Vernette in like a year or so, I think, yeah, exactly. I think that the future would be okay with those
yeah,
two as long as they get a chance to progress.
yeah, yeah. As long
And
as they can develop.
yeah, and Thomas is another one, just like Trey. He didn't get a chance to play. He opted
Yeah,
out. He ain't
he
played
opted
football
out.
in a while. And yes, he has been a little slow to get back into things, but I'm okay with where he's at right now.
Definitely. And we'll get into a little bit of stock down here in a second, but I agree with you. And I think what's important to see that we're seeing them, first preseason game and everything like that. And if we're feeling this positive about them, first preseason game, imagine if once they've had a month 2 months to develop.
Mhm.
They've gotten some practice in. They've gotten some, weight training in an NFL, not just a couple months of NFL weight training and things of that nature. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged, and I can't wait to see how um, they develop. I think that I'm not ready to say that we're there's going to be no drop off between E-Man and Jason Verrett versus them, but I
Give
feel
it
that,
time.
yeah, I feel give it time. I would definitely say that right now, if it's going to be a tie, I'd give it to Lenore or Thomas. So and I'm not saying that it is. E-Man's clearly the starter over both of them,
Yeah.
but I, I'm a lot more secure about our secondary future. Now let's see how they develop and see where we are.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, but not bad. Now going into my first stock down, I'm going to say, and I know this is going to be unpopular, but honestly, I was not impressed by Trey Sermon. I was not impressed by Trey Sermon. You can't put the ball on the ground. That's numero uno. Now, I want to say this with preference. Trey Sermon's clearly going to make the team. I didn't see anything that makes me think that he's not going to have the type of role I did that make me believe that he won't have the type of role I believed he would have this season before the game. I didn't see nothing to make me think that he's not.
Yeah,
But
not like automatic bust or anything like that.
yeah. But I definitely, I was not just. I'm not going to say I was disappointed, but I wasn't impressed. I just felt kind of, he played. I didn't feel anything to make me overwhelm me either way. And so I would have to, if you're going to say stock up, stock down, I would have to say stock down. Now, that doesn't mean I'm down on him as a player, but, gun to your head, you had to choose one. I'm going to say I just wasn't overwhelmed, just that impressed with him. Jason, your next stock down.
Well, if we're going to call out Trey Sermon, I'm going to call out the reason I think he didn't look that great, and that's because the offensive line. They were completely buckling at times. Like, I don't know what was
Yep.
going on.
Yep.
Um, Brunskill was getting run over and bullied sometimes. And this man is Aaron Donald's daddy. Why is he getting run over by anybody? So I don't understand what was going on with that. But yeah, they looked absolutely
Yeah,
horrible.
I don't get it.
It shouldn't have been that bad. I mean, Trey got sacked, what, 4 times? 3 of them, he didn't even
4.
have a time. 4. And I think 3 of them, he didn't even have time to react. It was 2 seconds,
No.
bam, there was a guy in his face who was basically let go for free, especially the one whoever Moore
Aaron
let
Banks.
off. I think it was the last one where yeah, because it was the one where he fumbled in,
Yeah.
where
Okay.
whoever
Yeah.
Jalen Moore was blocking.
Mhm.
It's a good 2 seconds, or half a second before he moved. That guy was already around the
Yeah.
corner.
He beat him right off the. I
Oh,
remember
it
specifically.
was
Remember that one because at first, just because of how fast he was able to get past him.
offsides.
At first, yeah. At first, I
Yeah,
thought it was an offsides.
it
I
was
started
so.
when I first saw it, I started clapping because
Yeah,
I thought it was going to
I
be
was,
offsides. I thought it was going to be
but it was
offside, so I started
so
clapping.
perfect.
And then I remember Mama Debbie looked at me and she was kind of looking at me like, "The hell are you doing clapping?" And I remember seeing the replay and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Damn!" I was like,
Yeah, it's good.
wow!" It was just so fat. I literally thought he was offsides, and
Maybe
so
like remember some like old school like Elvis Dumerol, so the way he used to get off the ball and around the
yeah,
corner
yeah.
like that
Oh,
quick. I was like, just damn.
how many times did we see it in 2019 with D Ford?
Yeah, stuff like
We
that.
seen it in 2019 with D
But
Ford.
yeah, like I said, so
Um,
that's my biggest stock down is like what is wrong because I didn't think our second string line was going to be that bad. I thought
oh
it was actually going to
no,
be halfway
I,
decent.
I agree with your stock down. Um, Yet again, I spoke so glowingly about how Trey played just like he did in practice and everything. I was not shocked at all because that's exactly what the O line looked like in practice. At least the second string. That's exactly what the second string looked like in practice. Now, I know a lot of people Uh, let's be real. We were without Alex Mack and Trent Williams, who
Yeah.
honestly, to me, are probably, I would say, our two best linemen. You could make a you could pick between Lincoln Tomlinson or Alex Mack. You could pick one of them as number two. I don't think you'd be wrong either way. They might be 2A,
No.
2B. But uh, without our possible Hall of Fame, All Pro, best left tackle in the league, and without our center, I'm not relatively concerned about the starters. But yeah,
Yeah.
my first reaction to in the group chat when Brian had sent that message, I was like, no, I'm not concerned. I was like, but Lord help us if anybody on the O line goes down. Um, I
Especially when
will
we've
piggy.
both said multiple times that we thought one of the best things was going to be for us to have like Brunskill as the backup.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
what's going to be the strength is that he could pretty much be plugged and
yeah.
play in case anybody got hurt. Now,
Yeah.
after seeing him get run over by everybody, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, maybe not.
Uh, I'm gonna piggyback exactly. I'm gonna pretty much our whole O line broke down was pretty much a discussion about whether or not the O line would be better with Daniel Brunskill coming off the bench. That was pretty much our whole O line breakdown right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback off of your stock down and go a little bit deeper, and I'm gonna say Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks way stock down. You and I both came on here thinking he was gonna be a day one starter. Now I try to preference it by hey. Daniel Brunskill's just not going to let the rook come take his job,
Yeah.
but I just thought that, hey, you know what? Aaron Banks is going to be, just so talented and the team put a high draft pick in him that it's not really going to matter, and I think maybe I wanted to lie to myself because I really want Aaron Banks to succeed because I do
Well, yeah.
believe that
Second. Yeah.
we're a right guard away. I believe that we're a right guard away from winning a championship in 2019. Even though I clearly have been quite clear about blaming the loss on the defense, just because you don't give up 21 unanswered points, especially when you're supposed to be the strength of the team. But ultimately, why things fell apart the way they did is because Chris Jones took Mike Person to town, over and over and over again. So I'm way down on. Now I don't think he's going to be a bust. I know a lot of people are throwing out Joshua Garnett
It's too early for
takes.
that.
I'm not, but I was very clear about how if Aaron Banks didn't start, I'd be concerned. And there's no way in hell he becomes a starter week one.
No.
He's out for at least 2 to 3 weeks with a shoulder injury.
Closer to a month.
So he okay, so fine, push it to a month. Okay, cool. So that's before he can even get on the practice field.
Mm-hmm.
And so uh,
It's
I
enough to
can't
make
even,
your eyebrow raise. You're like,
I can't even give you an educated guess on when I would even think that he would push for a starting role on this O
week
line.
7. Everything else is going to week 7.
I guess, but now I'm not down at Aaron Banks as a draft pick because I think that Notre Dame linemen tend to work out pretty well in the league. And I think that, maybe Aaron Banks is one of those players that needs a year in an NFL weight room and an NFL conditioning program.
Could be.
So I'm not quite ready to, throw out the Joshua Garnett comparison. But,
Yeah, slow down a little bit on that one.
yeah, I slowed down a little bit on that one, but I will say it's definitely my eyebrows, as you put it, my eyebrows are raised.
Yeah.
Mine, Jason, your last stock down.
I guess we can go with the easy one with Richie James. I mean, you could even say the same thing. How about this, so that we're not doing the same thing over and over and over? What about Travis Benjamin? He had
Yeah.
0 catches, 5 yards return on punts. This is
He
somebody
had a
we
horrible
expected
game.
to get, absolutely horrible. Some of those receivers were just like you can go down the trifecta with Richie James, Travis Benjamin, and Jalen Hurd. Did he even get on the field at all Saturday? I don't think he did.
No,
But
no,
between the
no, he
three of
was
them,
inactive.
I expected but one of the three to step up and have some sort of a hey, I want to be on this team moment, and we got nothing out of it. So at this point, who's going to be the number 4? Are we just going to give it to River Craycraft? So like I said,
Well, I
I
figure so. Right
actually,
now, I'm looking at as Debo.
oh yeah,
Go ahead, bro.
honestly, and for some reason I completely forgot
I
about
would give it
Sherfield and
right.
Sanu. So never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
So I'm glad that you. That's what I was gonna say, but I'm glad that you transitioned into that because this is a little bit of an interesting topic. I've been hearing a little bit on podcasts, and I wanted to get y'all thoughts on it. Um, Jordan Matthews
mm-hmm,
is to me. Do you take 5 receivers? So Debo, so Brandon Ayuk, Debo, Sherfield, um, Sanu, and
mm-hmm.
then Simba Webster, Jawan Jennings, somebody of that caliber, and then take 4 tight ends, and then you use Jordan Matthews as a hey, he's our 4th tight end / 6th receiver.
As a flex, yeah,
Because at this
because
point,
that'll give you an option for another
I,
lineman on offense or defense.
yeah, at this point, I'd rather keep 5 receivers and then say, hey, Jordan Matthews is our 6th receiver / 4th tight end than I would taking Richie James. You know,
Yeah, I trust him more at this
I
point.
yeah, at this point, I'd rather have Simba Webster
Yeah,
on the field than Richie James. And now I know that it was the 4th quarter of a preseason game, at
but there
that,
was something
but
there.
exactly, there's something there, and at least we're seeing something different.
Yeah,
Because the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and expecting different results. I mean, that's literally the definition of insanity. So
I
we know
think the
what we
herd
got from Richie
experience is
James.
dead. Has to be.
Yeah. Oh, her experience is, I mean, it's on life support.
I,
If he doesn't
I
show
think the
anything in
family is
this week,
gathered and we're getting ready to pull the plug.
yeah, because exactly. No, to me, if there's nothing, if Jalen Hurd does not come out with the player of the week this week, especially against the Chargers, if he does not, then I'm done. I'm washing my hands of him.
Yeah, he needs at least. He's gonna
He
have to have
has
at
to,
least a touchdown, five,
yeah,
six catches. He has to dominate in practice. He's got to do something,
he has to show what we thought we were good. What we thought we saw against Dallas that one year.
which was a
If he
preseason game.
shows that, which was the preseason game, if he shows any like that, then okay, fine. Maybe you could say life support's back on. But if he
Yeah, maybe
doesn't,
we can
and
give him
he
another
just
week or two.
yeah, but if he doesn't, then whatever. He's just a
Yeah,
camp body at this point. He's out. He's there to run routes. So BA and Debo
he's
don't.
there to
You
rehab
know.
himself over every year.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. But yeah, I'm. I take Simba Webster over Richie James right now, just because simply it's something new. You could say that he has a higher ceiling. We've seen what Richie James is by now. I think so. I think at this point, what 2018, 19, 20, this is going to be his 4th season. I think we've seen what Richie James is.
Yeah,
You know what? And awesome, cool, but to me, it's and I think Shanahan was right to call out the receivers. I think Shanahan was right to
oh
call.
yeah,
We all know, and I've tend to have the receivers back mostly, and think Shanahan is too hard on them. But to me, I'm seeing exactly what Shanahan has. I'm seeing no urgency. I'm seeing nobody who, besides Debo and Brandon Ayuk, obviously, but I'm seeing nobody. It's almost like beyond Sherfield and Sanu. It's almost like if we pick 5 receiver 5 and 6, we'll almost be there just because of default. Like, oh well, we gotta pick somebody. I don't
I
believe
know
that
everybody
nobody's
hates this
came out and
idea,
said
but River Craycraft. At least he's
even
trying.
him.
And, he's trying, and he busts his ass in practice. He doesn't. He doesn't drop balls. I'm like, at least we got that.
Oh, cool. At this point, fine. At this point, I'm not impressed. I don't see anybody besides the four that we mentioned that's coming out and saying I want to be on this team.
Yeah.
There's nobody. Richie James, I'm very disappointed. I just
Yeah.
am because to me, if he was having an amazing camp and you could just chalk it up like, hey, the sun was in his eyes or everybody has a half game. But as much as we've been praising things carrying over from practice to the game, we have to use it
Which doesn't.
negatively. He's
Yeah.
been dropping passes in practice, and you carry it over to the game. I can't do anything about that. I can't
Everybody that
argue.
I've seen his reporting is just this offseason for him just hasn't been it. When a lot of us thought this would be the one where he finally gets it all together.
Yeah, we did, and so I tip my cap to Richie. I do believe he'll make it on somebody's NFL roster,
Oh yeah.
just simply off the fact that he's got NFL experience. You know, but I'm not.
I like the idea.
I'm
I
not
hadn't
blown
heard
away.
about that Matthews idea, and I do like that one quite a bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Because
I'm just
you could flex
because
him
to
to either
me
one at this point.
and when you listen to Jordan Matthews' press conference yesterday, he
Yep.
talked about how he had some interest from the
Yep.
teams and ultimately chose the Niners. So I
Yep.
don't think we can convince him to go to practice squad. Ideally, I would love Jordan Matthews to go to practice squad, and then you would just
He's not.
activate him. It's going to be the same rules as last year, so you can
I think he's
activate him
played
as
too
much as
long
you
to go
want.
in the practice squad. I don't think he's eligible for it.
It's the same rules. You can have veterans.
Oh, that's right.
It's the
Same
same
as
rules as
next year.
last year.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So ideally, I would love Jordan Matthews on the practice squad. Um, I would, and you could just call him up each week that you needed him.
Mm.
Because I don't want to get rid of Pruitt just because I don't
Mm.
believe Charlie Warner is going to be there. Ross Dwelly is going to make the team. He's shown out. He's probably been one of the most consistent
Warner
players in
been
camp.
looking damn good.
And then Kittle, I mean, it's going to the tight end competition is going to be harder than maybe we thought. I think you and I both
Yeah,
walked
I think
in
it's
that we
definitely
thought
setting up for that.
Ross Dwelly was. Yeah, I pretty much I didn't expect much from Ross Dwelly, and he's been really a pleasant surprise. And Pruitt, who we both had making the roster, just returned to practice yesterday or today. I can't remember which one it
Something,
was.
and then
It was either
we
yesterday or
didn't
today.
expect the whole Jordan Matthews switching positions thing. That came
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
exactly. And
Like,
so
oh,
I think it'll
okay.
be a little, but if we can convince Jordan Matthews to go to the practice squad,
It's not the
um,
worst idea in the world.
no, I would absolutely love that. As a receiver tight end flex. But if at this point I would what? I mean, you got Sanu, Sherfield, BA, Brandon
Mm.
Ayuk, Symbol Webster, and so Juwan Jennings. I think Webster and Juwan Jennings at this point, and then maybe you could argue maybe Jennings and Matthews are battling out for whether we're going to keep a sixth receiver / fourth
Yeah.
tight end, and then whatever player. It may strictly just come down to, well, we can sneak Jennings on the practice squad, and Matthews isn't going to want to go on the practice squad.
Yeah.
So, because I think Jordan Matthews will get picked up by a team. He's shown enough in camp,
Yeah.
and I feel that he had that some team's going to take a flyer on him. So I think, let me see, how much time do we have? I know that I wanted to go a little over today.
We're at 54.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break, and then we'll go ahead and we'll return. We'll wrap up, and then we'll raid and get up out of here. Let's see, we good? Did it start? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're on break. Yeah, I can't. Maybe we'll bullshit. Maybe go over a little bit on what we thought, um, as far as what we're looking for next week, and then we can get up out of here, bro. Um, yeah, I think that we should be good after that.
I'm looking to see who's
But
up
yeah,
for
I
raids.
think that. Well, all right, cool. Just let me know the name, and then
Yeah, I'll put
we'll
it in chat.
I'll go ahead and I'll rate them. Okay, for sure. How much time is that? 2 minutes and 18 seconds. I didn't get to ask you. Did the halftime show do all right? Did the numbers do okay?
1,500 something.
Yeah. See, fucking A, bro. I'm telling you. I'm
Oh,
telling you,
dude,
bro.
I can look it up again. I think I looked at it this morning. I was like, Jesus
That's
Christ.
fine. I'm not. I'm not worried about it.
Well, I looked at it this morning, and I didn't think there'd be much, and I was like, fuck.
First preseason game. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro. I
I was just
think
like,
that we're gonna.
holy.
I think we're definitely gonna go to streaming everywhere at once the season hits. And I'm pretty sure if we can get a pretty good year out of this year, I think I'll be able to get us some advertisers. Uh, if you look at our combined podcast, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook and Twitter numbers, I think that'll
Yeah.
be enough to get us some advertising for next
Okay,
year.
right now, it has reached
I'm
1,659 people.
okay. I know that the homegirls company, the company I've been shipping my packages to, and matter of fact, it was her own. Uh, her owner is a Niner fan and a season ticket holder.
Oh,
So
nice.
been trying to, yeah, I've been trying to kind of, I've been going through them a lot to do the printing project. Like I got these little post flyer things. I'll send y'all a picture of them. But I got these little flyer things. They're the ones that did our business cards for this year.
Mhm.
I've been trying to kind of butter up and kind of, hey, I've been giving y'all some business, type of thing. And so what I'm hoping is if we can get some decent numbers for this season, that we can approach him next season and be like, hey, look, bro, we give y'all plenty of business. You know, here are our numbers that we had over last season. You know what's up. You already know how excited everybody is about the team in the future, especially considering if the year goes the way we expect it to go. So the team's on the rise. We've already been giving y'all business. You see that we have listeners to our show. I put how much money have I put in y'all pocket, bro? Y'all can't give me a couple $100 for a couple months of advertising, even if it's just during the season. I can understand why nobody wants to advertise in an off season, but
Yeah.
you can't give us some sponsorship during the season.
Just say
So
hi.
I think we should be all right. Let me see how much time we got left. A
I think we're
minute.
live again. Oh,
Um,
okay.
no. Yeah, we got about a minute and 4.
Hmm.
Okay, I already got it open, right? Yeah. Okay.
There's really nobody on right now.
What is it? Tuesday at 4.
Usually Wildcard's getting ready to come on. But I don't even see him on. Rich is on, but he's playing Creed.
Whatever. I'll just do Rich, just because at least I know he's in the program.
Yeah. And nobody there's him and some Russian guy streaming right now.
Oh, comrade. Oh, the money did go through, actually, FYI. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think it went through Sunday. think when I woke up, the
Yeah,
money
people were
was in my
freaking out
account.
about it
So
yesterday in this Discord, and I was like, oh.
okay, yeah, we're back live. All right, y'all. So we're just gonna go ahead and give some quick thoughts on what we expect to see Sunday. You know, I'm hoping we'll see a little bit of Trent Williams, although now with his uh, I guess it's hip knee
Yeah,
thing. I guess there was a
doesn't
little bit
sound
of swelling in
serious.
his knee. It doesn't
Yeah,
sound serious. They're going to be extremely cautious with Trent Williams.
I'd be surprised if we
You
see
know,
him at all until
yeah,
week one.
I maybe I would hope that he would get. I'm hoping everybody gets in for week 3, just because I would like to all our starters to get some work in.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't need to see a full half from Trent Williams. No.
No,
But so
although it does take away from the
I
fact
think
that I really wanted to see Williams versus Bosa or Big Bosa.
yeah, I was just gonna say. Although if he does play, I'm excited to see both. You know, at least Trent. We didn't get the Bosa versus Williams that we all wanted this year. That you and I had
Yeah,
talked a lot about. We didn't get that this year, but definitely at least a little excited to see if we get a little bit of at least Trent versus Joey. I mean
yeah.
that's just. I mean, come on, bro. That's what you look for in preseason, honestly.
It's not
But
what it's not the matchup we wanted, but it's the matchup I would have been okay with.
yeah, it's not the matchup we deserve, or whatever that
I was
saying
trying.
is.
I was like, I got through that. I was like, wait a minute, that's not how it goes.
Yeah, no. What is it? He's not the
You're
hero
not the
that we
hero we
need.
want, but you're the hero we deserve, or something like that.
No, he's not the hero we deserve. He's not the hero. I forget how it goes. But anyway, but yeah, I want to see Trey Sermon bounce back. I would like to see something from him.
Well,
Um,
we can't see nothing from it if the line ain't blocking for shit. I mean, it's so. I mean,
true. So,
they're going to kind of go side and side with that.
I mean, okay, that's part 2. I need to, okay. I won't say I need something from Trey Sermon. That I need something from the running game. How about
There
that?
you
If
go.
we're a team
Yeah. No.
if our coaches come out and said, "Yeah, we want to run the ball 500 times this year," we're going to need to see a little bit from the running game. You know, if a little bit more from the running game if we want to see all that.
Yeah.
You know, also I want to see obviously a dub. You know, I just wouldn't like to go. Um, Obviously, personally, the preseason game I want us to win the most is obviously week 3. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't want to hear. For those who are on my personal on my personal Facebook, my boy Raul Hernandez, I don't want to hear that nigga's mouth because he's gonna have all sorts of shit to say about the Niners, and I don't want to hear his. I don't want to hear this. You'll see him comment on all my shit. He's famous for lately. It's been I guess it's this Niner fan. It's this gay leotard thing,
Oh yeah,
and it's got like
the
a
guy
Niner. Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen that
yeah.
picture. It is funny.
He's
I ain't
put
gonna
that
lie,
on
it's funny.
comment that a couple times. I mean,
It is
look,
fun.
that's my ace. That's my boy. That's my ride or die. I know that if I'm in some shit and I give him a call, he's gonna be there, and some things are gonna crack off. He ain't gonna be there to play patty cake. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's my ace coon coon. You know, that's one of my riders. But you know, yeah, that nigga loves to bump at the gums. So
That's okay.
I don't want to hear that.
Mine's a
But
Cowboys fan, so go with it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I get you.
I remember my lesbian homegirl Trisha. You know, was who my best friend a few years ago. Uh, Same thing. We watched many Niner Cry Girls games together. But yeah, so she actually it was so funny because she hadn't talked to me in over like I want to say it was like 2 years, and she randomly hit me up before the game last year. She's like, "We're gonna get that ass, bro." You know, anyway. Um, Also, as much as we praised Talanoa, as much as we praised Ambry, as much as we praised Diamador, what's the difference between a backup and a starter in the NFL? Consistency.
Hmm?
So
Keep it rolling.
We gave you your props. We gave you your well-deserved propers for week 1. Now let's see you do it week 2. Now let's see the consistency. That's what I want to see from. Anyway, I got you, bro.
All right.
I want to anybody that we gave praise to, I want to see you do consistently now. And ultimately, I want to see D'Amico be a little aggressive. I thought that I didn't see too many blitzes last week. Now I know that we're not going to show much. It's not the preseason and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I'd at least like to see a little bit more aggressiveness. The defense played fine, except the last few drives. This is not a knock on the defense. I think that he did fine, but
This is not the Super Bowl all over again.
yeah, I want to see a little aggressiveness. I want to see, especially when the starters are out there. I kind of want to see a little bit of what it looks like because let's be real, we don't know what D'Amico Ryan's scheme is going to look like. And that,
Not yet.
look, they were running some crazy shit in practice. They were running some crazy shit in practice. So I know we're not going to see too much of it, but and ultimately, the last thing, and then I'll let you get into yours, Jason. I want to see a turnover by Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward has been a lot of vocal, been more vocal this offseason, and we've seen a lot of more of them. Now, I'm not a big Jimmy Ward needs turnovers because I believe I'm of the mindset they just don't throw towards him enough for him to get those type of turnovers. But I'd like to see something, some type of turnover from the secondary, some type of whether it's a forced hit that's a forced fumble, whether he causes a receiver to allocate arm or something.
Because the one pick
me,
was kind of a gift from last week.
Well, okay, so I listened to Locked On 49ers. Yesterday they had a breakdown. It's actually a really good breakdown of Talanoa Hufanga and Diamador Lenore and Ambry Thomas. And it was funny because Eric Crocker said that the pass that he got picked on, the play he got the pick on was actually his least favorite snap from him, which is kind of funny. But to me, what I say is, considering everything we've been through with the secondary and the lack of turnovers, he was close enough to make the play on the ball, and B, how many times have we seen balls drop off the receiver, fall off receivers, bounce off receivers' hands or DB's hands? Mm-hmm. So to me, he was in the area to make the play, and he actually made the play. So fine, I know that the coaches are going to critique his coverage, and you want consistency and you want process over results. You'll take process over results majority of the time. But I just need to see something. I need to see something. Jason, your things to watch for week 2 of preseason.
All right, I'm going to tell you this right now because this is going to be kind of crazy, but it was pissing me off during the game. I need to see some improvement from Tim Ryan. If he tries to make another Tafu, Hufu, whatever nickname for Hufanga, I swear I'm going to punch him in the face. He tried for the entire game, and I was just like, dude, just stop. For the love of God, stop. You are embarrassing yourself. So I need to see some improvement from him in making nicknames or just stop because right now he was horrible.
Hey,
look, I know you didn't listen to it because you were at the game, but I was watching it, man, and I was just like, and he's trying to butcher a Polynesian name, and I'm just like, oh, dude, come on, man, you are killing me right now, dude.
You know what? To give fellow San Ho native Tim Ryan some credit, y'all names are hard as fuck to pronounce, bro.
That's not the point, but you got to stop at some point. He was like, Tahufu, or just like, dude, please stop. You are hurting me right now every time.
I mean, just
call him Who. If you want to do it, just call him Who. The Who, the band that's from China. That's actually pretty badass. The Mongolian band.
Call him fellow Trojan because Tim Ryan went to USC as well. So
But
call
it's just,
fellow Trojan.
that
and
probably
you'll
annoyed
be
me
fine.
more than anything else with that game. What I want to see is, like we discussed earlier, we know Trey's going to get a little bit more play time. I'm hoping we open it up just a little bit. Like, don't give him everything, but let him, start showing a little bit of what he brings to the table and why we drafted him. Do the rollouts, give him an RPO, something of that. That's what I would like to see, and I'd like to see the offensive line block somebody for the love of God.
Somebody,
Yeah.
anybody.
I wouldn't mind. Like, I don't know if any of the starters on the D line are going to start, but I wouldn't mind if they're going to do the second string again. Keep up that same energy that they had, because that energy was awesome.
Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier, I want to see that same consistent push for everything over and over. Keep it going to preseason.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that the thing that has me exciting is at least now we can have a little bit for even the rookie class last year. I mean, this is the first time we've seen Juwan Jennings on the field. This is the first
Yeah.
time, some of
They've
these
gone
players
through
we've seen.
camp, a full
Yeah.
camp.
And so I think ultimately what I think that's exciting now is we have a floor. So to me, this is Saturday is Trey Lance's floor to me.
Yeah.
That's the shittiest I expect him to look all preseason. And so to me, now that we have every rookie, not just Trey, but we have every rookie's floor. Okay, now let's see who rises above that floor
Mm-hmm.
and who can get better from week 1 to week 2, and then week 2 to week 3, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
Obviously, we know, and even what I'd like to see it. I think that regardless of however we look, whether you're on the idea of that the Niners are trying to showcase Jimmy, or that legitimately the Jimmy will be the starter week 1. I'm on the later camp. I do believe Jimmy will be the starter week 1. Now, could they ask him to take a pay cut or whatever? Fine, but I just so simply I don't think we'll be offered anything enough that would make me feel comfortable to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. Like
Not right
I'm
now.
not against trading Jimmy Garoppolo. I have my price for Jimmy Garoppolo. If somebody offers us a second rounder,
Everybody's got a price, to
yeah,
quote the $1 Million Man.
if somebody if somebody offered us 8 picks for Nick Bosa, bye.
Deuces.
If you offer me 8 first round picks for Nick Bosa, bye bye. Um,
Shit, if
so
they just offered me every pick in their draft, I'd take that.
yeah, maybe a little Ricky Williams. But
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
because I'm sorry, you're just by sheer numbers, you're gonna get a player that would impact your team.
Yeah.
The totality would impact your team. I don't know. It might be who you are. Obviously, a worse team is going to have to give up less just simply
Yeah.
because the pick will be higher. But I just simply don't think we'll get enough. I'm not trading Jimmy Garoppolo for a 5th, 6th round pick.
No.
No, I'm sorry,
Minimum,
not somebody that I've seen start a Super Bowl. Not
maybe a fourth if you threw in something.
yeah. Okay, if you give me a 4th and you're taking all their salary,
Oh, yeah.
then yeah,
Bye.
okay, yeah, okay,
Deuces.
cool. I'm
I'm
down.
out.
I'm down. I try to push it for a 3rd,
Yeah.
just because
But
you're
taking
going to
that
try to get Armstrong
salary
Wentz.
is a big one.
Yeah, yeah, but taking that salary is fine. But the Niners aren't going to get a 1st or 2nd round pick without taking the majority of that salary.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't think Jimmy will be traded. Not because I don't think there are some teams that are interested. I just simply don't think that the Niners will get what they want.
I think
There's nothing.
for us to get what we want, it has to be an injury somewhere. Like, if you
Yeah,
told me right now Carson Wentz is done for the season, the Colts trade.
if you tell me right now that Cam Newton's done, New England makes that trade.
I disagree.
You
I
don't you
think
don't
they
think
have
they're going to bring at least Jimmy in for a backup?
nope.
Mm.
I think they would roll with Matt. I really do
Oh
believe that.
yeah. Mac's probably going to be their starter.
I don't even. But why you could spend that with someone else? They could pull someone else
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Now, had
But
this been before the draft, yes, I'd agree with you. But now that
yeah,
they've
yeah,
got,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
now that
yeah,
they've
yeah,
spent
yeah.
that first round pick on Mac, no, they're not trading for Jimmy.
Chicago maybe. Something happens to Justin Fields.
They got Andy Dalton.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
true.
saying
That's
he's
true. I
great,
forgot
but they
about
got
Anthony Dalton. I
and Nick
forgot about
Foles.
Anthony
They got
Dalton.
Dalton and Foles. So you know
Yeah,
what? To be honest, Foles will move before Jimmy,
Yeah,
realistically.
yeah.
So
Okay.
it'd probably take two big injuries before Jimmy. It'd take something like Wentz being down, and then
And plus, also, let's really say the truth on what we feel about this. The truth is simply nobody's going to want to give up a draft capital for Jimmy when they're like, look, when they're going to force the Niners' hands and say, look, you're not, you're. It's pretty obvious the Niners are going to move on from Jimmy after the offseason. The
you'd have to have
only,
one hell of a season
yeah,
for
the
us not to.
only way I would even entertain Jimmy Garoppolo staying on this team is if we won the Super Bowl and or he has an MVP like season.
Yeah, that's
If he has an
pretty much
MVP
it.
season, I'm sorry, you just can't move on from an MVP quarterback.
That's when we're starting
Which
to get into the first round
yeah,
draft pick kind of stuff.
yeah,
The big,
and and,
big
and,
ones.
and let's be realistic. Jimmy Garoppolo is not having an MVP season this year, so. But yeah,
I'd put my money that he's not.
I put my money. Look, if Jimmy Garoppolo does, nobody will be happier to be wrong than me. Trust me, y'all know that. Anybody who listens to this show knows that nobody will love if Jimmy Garoppolo has an MVP season more than me. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't see the Niners moving on from. So you know what? I need to. We've seen what Jimmy is. Jimmy's been what he is. My last thing I want to see is, there was a lot of talk and and we saw it, at the beginning of camp that Jimmy had a little bit of feistiness. Was
Mhm.
pissed off Jimmy and all that. And that was cool. That's some good news. Obviously, look, I said ultimately all offseason, I said, look, it's going to bring out the best in Jimmy Garoppolo. And if it doesn't bring out the best in Jimmy Garoppolo and Jimmy Garoppolo wants to pout and become a problem in the locker room, then I don't even want Jimmy on the team. But
And
that's
I
not
don't
been
think that's in him.
the case. Jimmy's just, yeah, no, it's not. Jimmy Garoppolo's a all-American Midwestern boy. Like that's not going to be. You generally saw the joy he had for Trey Lance's touchdown.
Oh yeah,
You
he was
saw the pure
ecstatic for
ultimate
him.
joy.
Yeah,
And I want to say he was one of the first people to walk over and congratulate Trey
he
when
was.
he got to the sideline. I
Speaking
want
of
to
someone,
say,
did you see Rosen? Rosen was standing like a Drake moment. He was like,
oh no, I didn't see that.
so
I didn't.
you look at the same picture with Jimmy. Rosen is standing right next to him, and they caught him in like the perfect frame. And, everything you've ever seen with Drake, where he's like, look, you gotta find this.
Yeah,
He's right
yeah.
next to Jimmy. It's perfect.
You know what my favorite? There was, I think it was Grant Cohn that was sitting there saying that at the presser when after game presser, he said that he had all sorts of questions for Josh Rosen, and he said I've never seen a more dejected player, on the stage. Like you could tell Josh Rosen knew. Anyway,
Yeah,
uh, but I want to see something different.
yeah.
We've heard all along that how Trey was going to push Jimmy and it was pissed off Jimmy and fired up and all that. Well, cool. So
I
then
want to see that Jimmy.
what? So then how is fired up Jimmy different than normal Jimmy? Because ultimately, if he's playing the same, which is fine, he's been Jimmy Garoppolo in camp. He's been fine. But to me,
He doesn't
it,
still throw those short arm balls. He doesn't
it's
all
just
that kind of stuff. He makes that sidestep to create
I'm
a
not.
little bit of space. Something like
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
I'm not seeing anything from Jimmy that's any different. So cool, you're pissed off, you're fired up, I'm Jimmy Garoppolo. You're cussing in the press conference and all that. That's all cool, but if it doesn't give us anything new, then what the fuck's the difference?
Yeah,
Honestly, then you know what? Ultimately, bringing Trey Lance on the team, Trey Lance bringing Trey Lance on the team really didn't do shit to Jimmy Garoppolo. Did. Ultimately, except a lot of this.
yeah.
And I want to make it very clear. I'm not mad. I'm not down on Jimmy. I just want to make it very clear that I would just like to see something else, even if it's Jimmy taking off, even if it's Jimmy trying a deep throw, just something that make me say, okay, this is going to be this is a different Jimmy
Little
Garoppolo.
preview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go through my little spiel. Jason, go ahead and tell the people how they can subscribe to us for free.
There is a wonderful program which most of us have because we all order shit online called Amazon Prime. Uh, Twitch is a partner with Prime Amazon or Amazon Prime, and you can connect your two accounts, and then every month for free you get one free sub to your most famous streamer, us. Um, it's free to you because you're already using Amazon to get that 2-day delivery. So go ahead and just hook it up and do it for us. The only bad part is you got to do it every month, unlike a regular sub that just keeps redoing it. But hey, if you watch us, we're going to say this at the end of every show, so you'll know every week to check
Yeah.
it. But yeah, or you can do it the old-fashioned way. I think they've actually just brought their prices down. I think it was $5.99. It's now $3.99 for a month to sub for a month. So you go ahead and use that on us, please.
We really, really honestly do appreciate that. Also, before we get out of here, we want to remind everybody that For the Faithful, by the Faithful pre-launch sale is happening now through August 29th. Go ahead and go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shops for all the details and save your 20% off of all our designs. Go to SeatGiant.com, use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your concert, theater, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Get your affiliate license and Niner gear using our affiliate link that will be in the description of this video. It really does help out the show, and it costs you no more money. Go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/subscribe to check out all the places that you can catch the show. And follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. We're going to go ahead and play the outro. Then we're going to rate a channel, and then we'll get y'all up out of here.
Steps up, throws.
All right, so we're gonna go.
So before we go, are we rating Pete?
Yeah.
All right, just so everybody knows, Pete is a former. Sadly, he is a Cowboys fan, but he also used to be a reporter for the Houston Texans. So everybody go in there and give him shit because he's a Cowboys fan. But he's good people. Pete's good people. His actual name is Josh, but for some reason the name of the channel is Pete, and I keep forgetting to ask him why.
You know what we all got to do? Go remind them it's not a logo, it's a rating. All right, so we're gonna go ahead.
Tell them it's definitely not their year again.
Yes, we all know what happens, right? Every year it's their year. Motherfuckers have been saying this since 1997.
I've been saying it before that too.
My favorite.
Yeah, he's good people.
Yeah, my favorite beat was that they got that song that "Hell to the No, to the No No."
Oh
and
yeah,
it was like where the Cry Girls gonna make the playoffs this year. Hell to the No.
Yeah, I seen that one. That was a good
one. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're good. All right. Well, we'd like to thank everybody.
Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. We are doing our
Yeah. Oh wow, you can actually hear him. All right.
Oh, it's because it came up on my PC.
Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and we'll see y'all next week. Till then,
have a good night.
We're going to go 20, 19, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.
Deuces.